Hello everyone, I'm Dr. Sivadas Madhavan, Associate Professor of English, Wolaita Soda University, Ethiopia. Today I'm going to talk about the points of divergence in research. Research is an investigation to probe an issue, solve a problem, or make an argument that compels us to turn to outside help. And in the case of quantitative research and qualitative research, there are some differences. But both are researchers. So a researcher employs certain techniques to get the answer to the question. So the diverging points, or the points that diverge, that are the points that we are going to discuss today. And the first one, broadly speaking, all these differences between quantitative research and qualitative research can be said as the philosophical aspects, the differences in the philosophy. Philosophy is a set of beliefs and attitude to life, but here in the life of research. Or philosophy is the study of nature and meaning of universe and human life. So here we are going to see the life of research, how philosophically quantitative research is and qualitative research is. And the most important thing is it starts with ontology. Ontology is a study of being, and there we consider two aspects of research. One is finding out a single reality, and the other one is multiple reality. That means realism and relativism. So ontology deals with these two things, either single reality or multiple reality. So in a research, you can see the single aspect of the reality and multiple aspects of the reality. So you can expect a question, what is the ontological question of the research? That means, what reality are you trying to find out? Is it single or is it multiple? So, or you can say, is it quantitative or is it qualitative? That is the difference between the two in the case of ontology. And when it comes to epistemology, that is the study of knowledge, it can be either ethic or emic. Ethic means from outside or from inside. If it is from outside, it will be quantitative. If it is from inside, it will be qualitative. So there will be such differences between quantitative research and qualitative research. And the third one is methodology. Methodology is also a philosophical concept. Methodology can also show these two bifurcations, objective and subjective. Objective is quantitative and subjective is qualitative. And methodology is slightly different from methods. Methodology consists of methods, or methodology is the study of methods. Methods means the process, the techniques, or the tools that you use for the research. Or in other words, a very simple explanation is, methodology is how did the researcher complete the research part. And methods is what did the researcher use for the research part. So what the researcher used, that is methods. How did the researcher complete the research, that is methodology. So in methodology, methods are implied. So methods will be the techniques, the procedure, the tools, the techniques, etc. So these are the two things. And when you consider methodology or the methods, you can have different variations of the points of divergence. The first one is explanation. In quantitative research, you can see explanation, and that will predict. After the explanation, a hypothesis will be confirmed or rejected. There, it is predicting the result. But in the case of qualitative research, there the explanation is a description. They explain and describe. That is number one. And second one is, in quantitative research, they test the truth or the theory. They test the theory, but in qualitative research, they are building the theory, making the theory, or forming the theory, or formulating the theory. So there is a difference between quantitative research and qualitative research when we talk about theory. Quantitative research is to prove the theory or to test the theory, and qualitative research is to build the theory or to make the theory or to form the theory. And the third point is, in quantitative research, you are dealing with the known variables. Variables are known to the researcher. But in the case of qualitative research, the researcher has to deal with the unknown variables. Variables are not known to the researcher. And the next one is, in quantitative research, we use a large sample, but in qualitative research, very small sample. That is, in the case of sample, there are some differences. And the next one is the standardized instruments. The standardized instruments are used in quantitative research, but in qualitative research, they use observation, interview, etc., the common method. And in the case of quantitative research, it is deductive method, deducing the theory. But in the case of qualitative method, it is inductive method. So one is deductive method, but the other one is inductive method. And I hope the audience can see the slide which I have prepared. You can see on the other side of the screen. And those who have doubt can clarify it with the help of the slide which I have put on one side of this. And in the case of data collection tools, there are differences between quantitative research and qualitative research. And in data collection, quantitative research depends on online web. Online web will be the main source. But in the case of qualitative research, they depend on online forum. They can have a forum. They will have a forum to use the website. And it is not so free as quantitative research, or it is not so wide as the quantitative research. And the second point is, there will be face-to-face interview, face-to-face interaction. But in the case of qualitative research, they are using online community. It is online community they contact with each other. And in the quantitative research, you can use phone to contact the people. Telephonic conversation is possible. But here, in the case of qualitative research, the web survey and chats, you can have to get the information, to get the data for the research. And or you can, in the case of quantitative research, you can have the FedEx mail. You can get it on mail. And at the same time, in the case of qualitative research, there will be groups, triads, dyads, etc. That means 2 people can join together, that is dyad, or 3 people can join together to discuss, that is triad, or it can be more people like a focus group, that will be a group. So that is in the case of qualitative research. And the next one is central location intercept. Central location intercept. So different ideas will be there, and they select the point that intercept. But in the case of qualitative research, it is in-depth interviews. In-depth interviews will give them the data for the research. And the last point is the general structure of the research. The general structure, that means in the quantitative research, they use structured data, while qualitative research uses unstructured data. And in the quantitative research, it will be statistical analysis, but here on the other hand, it will be summarizing. summarizing the idea, because in qualitative research they deal with ideas, opinions, views, etc. So it will be summarizing the ideas. And the next one is, in quantitative research, the objective conclusion will be the main point. They focus on the objective conclusion. That means the conclusion of a quantitative research will be objective, unbiased. It will be unbiased. That means the researcher's views will not be so apparent in it, or it may not be so dominating in quantitative research. But in the case of qualitative research, it will be subjective. Subjective means the personal views. Personal views will reflect in qualitative research more than the quantitative research. And the last point is, the quantitative research makes use of survey method, experimental method, etc. But the qualitative research is always depending on interviews, focus group discussions, observation, etc. So these are the technical differences between the quantitative research and qualitative research. And with similar topics, I'll be coming up again next time. Until then, goodbye.